Welcome to the One Life Podcast with Behka White. This is episode 85, Your Greatest Happiness. Hello, Creator. Welcome back to our month dedicated to creation. Yesterday, we talked about creating change. Today, we are talking about creating happiness. We need to address this because I feel like unhappiness is one of the major motivations for making changes in our lives. We need to understand what happiness is and what it is not before we focus on creating happiness only to reap disappointment. And so I would like to start with this. Your greatest happiness lies in front of you, not behind you. No matter where you are or where you have been on the happiness scale, your greatest happiness lies in front of you, not behind you. This is a comforting concept because we have a lot to look forward to as we move forward. Now, let's identify some basic misconceptions about happiness. I have often heard the phrase, "You can't be any happier than happy." This is suggesting that happiness is binary. Either one is happy or one is sad. And we know that's just not true. Along these lines, if we are happy, we should be content with what we have and not strive for more, especially if we are a good Christian. This is also not true because we live in a world of abundance and God has told us to ask, seek, and knock. He wants us to come to Him. He wants us to grow and expand. Here's another misconception. I'll be happy when, as if happiness is a destination and we will eventually arrive if we don't run out of gas on the way. Here's another one. I am only as happy as my saddest child. This sounds like something a devoted parent would say, but in reality, this loving parent has just placed the responsibility and accountability for their happiness squarely on the shoulders of someone who is trying to figure out their own happiness. If we want to create happiness, we cannot abdicate the decisions for our life to someone else. We need to keep our power. Here is another one. Happiness means an absence of challenge or hardship or fear. This is simply not true either. We do not need to pretend negative life turns are good or positive. And it is possible to be happy amidst the challenges of life. And it is possible that our negative life turns can work for good in our life. Last misconception, and I feel like this is an undertone of our culture. And that is, our basic human rights include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This sounds great, except the word pursuit presents the idea of lack. Like happiness is something I am pursuing or chasing because I don't have it. And that's what our country was built on, my friends. I like the word expansion instead. Life, liberty, and the expansion of happiness. This gives a starting point with a current level of happiness that we can rate on a scale of 1 to 10. And even if we have a 10 on our happiness scale, we live again in a world of abundance. There is an infinite amount of happiness to be had, and level 10 happiness today will mean something different than level 10 happiness tomorrow. So here are some truths about happiness. Happiness is not any of the things we've discussed. Happiness is a state of being. Happiness, again, is not a destination, but a mode of transportation. It is the way we move through life, and no one can make us unhappy without our permission. Now, I begin with the statement, your greatest happiness lies in front of you, not behind you. I say this with confidence because the hardships and suffering that you have endured have carved out space for happiness. As you learn to fill the carved out spaces with the state of being happy, I also call this God's love, your capacity to be happy will continue to increase as you increase in depth and breadth and experience, and yes, even heartache. Your greatest happiness lies in front of you, not behind you. So, how do we create our greatest happiness? I am so glad you asked. We will explore this tomorrow. So, thanks for being with me. And until next time, keep living your best life.